Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're talking Apple TV's greatest show of all time. We're talking Severance. I've been wanting to do one of these videos for a while. I've been a big fan since season one. Me and the wifey have been spending tons of time, not just watching it, but watching theory videos, coming up with theories ourselves, just having conversations, talking to friends and getting friends into this show has been a lot of fun as well. I wanted to do something before the last episode, and we're going to do just that. But before I get there, let me introduce myself because I'm not usually making this type of content. Typically, I open trading cards, primarily Pokemon, but we do One Piece, sports cards. We do quite a bit of other things. You can take a look at my video history if you'd like to. I'm a grad student, and sometimes I do stream on Twitch, usually playing video games or doing something random. And enough about me. In the comments, let me know your favorite Severance character. Mine is Mr. Milchick because, well, we don't really have a lot of information about him other than we know he's an intellect, and that's really about it. So let's get this party started. We're going to watch the final clips of the trailer for Severance that we have not seen in any episode, meaning that all of these clips will be in the final episode. Keep in mind, we're going to talk about spoilers here. So if you don't like spoilers, have not watched episode 9 of season 2 or watched any episode of season 2, watch that first and then come back over here, take a look at this video, and hey, if not, hey, spoilers are coming. Let's go ahead and take a look at this video. Let's get this party started.
Mark, there'll be no honeymoon ending for you. She's still alive.
They give us half a life and think we won't fight for it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that concludes that little video trailer. So I want to start off with, in that clip, you hear Miss Cobel saying that it's not going to be a honeymoon ending. And we know she's talking to Mark Scout because he's been severed as he's in that retreat. But I think, so some people have been theorizing it's only Mark Scout, but I feel like Mark S and Mark Scout, neither one of them are really going to have a honeymoon ending. Not saying that they're dying like Petey, but I'm saying that if you think about it, once he's completely severed and he has both brains, I guess you could say, in one, he's going to have a split love relationship with two different people. He loves Helly and he loves Gemma. And I think that's going to be something that will be very interesting moving forward. Maybe not at this season particularly, although we'll see. You don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if he's going to start, having the effects of Severance while he's there. We know he does go back into the office because, the video clips show him and Mr. Drummond fighting. But I do suspect that Miss Cobel means all of Mark S and Mark Scout. That's in my opinion. Let's go ahead and continue moving forward. What's Helly gonna do with Jame Egan? We know this is not Helena, or at least, yeah, I don't think it is. I mean, why would Helena be looking at the map that Dylan had, that Irving created? Helly's a wild card. I mean, she tried to kill herself a couple of times. She's threatened so much. I mean, last episode, Milchick and her had a pretty interesting confrontation. I mean, I'm a little worried. I mean, listen, I know Jame is a bad person, a bad guy, but I'm a little concerned about him and the wild card that Helly is in general. It feels like she's losing things in her life, and this guy comes in and creeps around, and she knows who he is because she met him, at the very finale of season 1. So she understands that this is the guy, the leader of Lumen. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens if that even, if we get anything out of that. We'll see. The next thing, and I really do think this is an interesting one. A lot of people think that she's either going to turn her back on Mark or she's going to help Mark. I think that Miss Cobel is for herself. She is going to be both a villain and a hero of the story. I think that she wants to be the leader of Lumen. I think she wants to push the people that are up at the top out and insert herself in. She created the technology. I do think she's going to use Mark to get her way. Also, I do think that she's a bad guy, though, because when she maybe gets that realization that she can get to where she needs to get to, she's going to kick Mark to the curb. We'll see. That's my theory. I think she's going to be a good guy and a bad guy. I don't think you can trust her either way, but she's your only option. And yeah, I kind of somewhat understand why Devon did what she did a little bit. Mr. Milchick is the next character. Whose side is Milchick going to be on? In that clip, you saw Mr. Milchick pulling off his tie. You know him and Drummond just had, he told Drummond to eat shit in the last episode. And everybody has been treating Mr. Milchick like shit, like the entire time. That whole episode 9, I felt so bad for him. Everybody, and including the severed people and including the Lumen side staffing executives, nobody was giving Mr. Milchick the respect that he deserves. He's literally just doing his job. They gave him a kid that replaced his position. I don't know whose side he's on here. I suspect it's gonna be Mark's, but is he really gonna do that in this season finale, or is it gonna happen later on? Is he gonna be a good guy, is really what I'm saying. Is he gonna be the hero that Mark and everybody on the severed floor need? We'll see. In my opinion, I think yes, this might start it off here. He is not too happy with Drummond. Maybe he's quitting finally, and taking that blue tie off is the symbolism of him ripping off that choking effect that Lumen has on people. We'll see. They do a good job at leaving you with questions. All right, next question I talked to the wife about this while this episode was going on. Is this train severed? Was Burt taking Irving to this train purposeful? I feel like we're going to see Irving again. But does this train lead to, as soon as Irving exits it, he becomes a whole new person? Maybe he becomes his severed person. I don't think they delete these, I don't think they kill or delete the severed personality from your severed chip. It'll be interesting to see what happens if we get to see him get off the train. There is no evidence that we're going to see that. He may not come back until season 3, but it is one thing I wanted to notate before anything happens, because I wanted to get that out there. All right, Burt is the next question. If Burt really did let Irving go free, that train's not severed, he literally just went against Lumen. He might get killed. I don't think it's going to happen this season. I think we're going to see him again next season, but that is one thing that it's going to be interesting. He's going to be after him. Why would Burt do this? Was Burt severed when he was down in the severed floor? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. He had feelings, and do feelings slip through? I think somewhat it's possible, and maybe it's been proven a little bit. But the characters that have displayed that affection, Helena with Mark on the outside, Helena had insight into her innie. I think she kind of fell in love with the fact that her innie could do all sorts of things, including fall in love. I don't know about Burt. Burt might have already been on the inside as a bad man. Mr. Goodman was the bad man on the inside. I don't know. I'm not too sure. He may have been severed. Maybe. We'll see. I think if he is going against Lumen, though, they're going to find out, is what I'm saying. They are going to find out that Irving is still alive. And if that was not purposely a mandate to throw him on that train, instead they wanted him dead, which I believe he was told to go execute Irving. Why would Irving leave all his clothes and all his belongings in a house? He was supposed to kill him, make it look like an accident, probably similar to how they did it with Gemma, and probably a lot of other people that we don't even know about. I believe that Irving was supposed to be killed, and he's about to turn on Lumen. Well, not turn on. He didn't really turn on. He's gonna tell a lie, think they're gonna believe it, and they're not, because they're pretty connected. All right. Next question I have is Irving talking to Reghabi? That's been a question that's been on my mind, and I don't really know the answer to it. I don't know if maybe there's a greater group. I mean, we saw people out protesting in season 1 that Mark ran into when his Audi was dating. I'm not too sure. And was PD involved? Was PD like that botched, reintegration attempt? Yeah, I know that Miss Cobel had a funny, joke about it, or maybe not even a joke, but I mean, PD died because of Reghabi, potentially. We don't know. But is this a group that was connected, trying to, get information and take over or shut down more or less Lumen? I'm not sure. It's just a question that I've had, and I'm, debating it in my head. If you guys have an answer to that, let me know. I'm very, very curious. I also just it's interesting to me. It really is. It is. All right. The next thing I have here, I remember this guy. I have been asking, who is this guy? The driver of Helena, when Miss Cobel just completely disappears for a few episodes after she sees him. I know that some people theorize that it's because he is the hitman, he's the new Burt. But I also think that he could be, but maybe this is the body of Baird Egan. We saw Baird Egan in season 1 with those creepy, replicas of other, is this the same guy? Is it? Maybe, potentially. I think they're either related or it's the same person, and he has, maybe not a completely past attempt at trying to utilize somebody's body. I don't know. I might be going out there, but they look so much alike. I don't feel like that's on purpose. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Another question that I have, and I think a lot of people have, is Dylan and his wife, is she going with his innie or outie? There's a clip in that video, and I don't want to be that tinfoil hat guy, but I'm like, is that the innie or the outie? I'm not sure. I want to say it's the outie, and that they're just going to close that story off. But maybe they try to close that story off, and he refers to himself as, I don't know. Maybe he gives her that ring, that paper ring that he made out of those little finger traps. I'm not sure. I'm curious, though. It's very, very interesting, that whole clip. Why I thought Dylan's character was written off for the rest of the season. That's what it felt like. It felt like Irving was written off for the rest of the season. Miss Wang was written off for the whole season, and Dylan was written off for the rest of the season as well. I thought that's what was going on, but we still see a clip that we have not seen of Dylan. Maybe it's a recap. They're kind of just showing things, and it's literally just a 10-15 second thing. I don't know. We're going to find out, though, in this episode, because we have to. This is the final clips of the trailer for the season. All right. Next, we have Ricken. We haven't seen Ricken in a while. Where is Ricken, actually? With Devon doing all this stuff, where in the heck is Ricken? We know he has a really inflated ego right now, and, maybe he's talking to the PR person at, Lumen, but it's very weird and suspicious that his wife is just doing all sorts of crazy things keep in mind, after having a baby. And we haven't seen the baby in any of these previous episodes lately. It's almost felt like Devon has been with Mark since she found him. Where is Ricken in all of this? And is Ricken related to Drummond? Is Ricken an Egan, a long lost Egan? He looks a lot like him. And I have thought for a little while that maybe, he didn't agree with Lumen and he left the family. I'm not too sure. I feel like there might be a connection here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not. Who knows? We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. Let's talk about Devon. Whose side is she on? Literally. She called Miss Cobel after she knew Miss Cobel literally was at her house basically doing recon on Mark, both just to figure out if he was, if the procedure was going well, if the Code Harbor. I don't know what she was doing, but she was gathering intel on him and took care of the baby. And it was so weird. They thought she kidnapped the baby, and now Devon's calling her and trying to get her help. Kind of completely blows off Reghabi, which I kind of it makes sense somewhat. I mean, like if you went to your house and you saw your brother, like, or sister or sibling or somebody that you loved and knew, like doing some random like garage surgery with some like person you've never met before that did the procedure, and the person that your sibling or family member knocked out, I would also be suspect on that person. However, calling Miss Cobel is the only option. I don't know. It's very suspicious, but I'm not sure. I could see it go both ways, but she is definitely a question mark. Whose side is she on? That's the question. All right. Here's another one that I have for you, and this one's going to be kind of interesting. I suspect that when Helly goes down that elevator, and I just 100% feel like she's going down that elevator to go find Miss Casey, Gemma, and she's going to switch to Helena when she passes through that ship thing. What's going to happen when Helena meets Miss Casey and Gemma? And I feel like this is going to happen. I just do. I feel like it. I don't know if Helena knows everything that's going on down there. Is she going to see all this crazy stuff? She laughed at the thing, and they were very serious about the stories of, Kier and Dieter and the forest and things that might be happening in the forest that, keep that stuff in the forest. Don't tell it to anybody else. But what is she going to do? Whose side is she going to be on? Is she going to see this from a human aspect, or is she going to see this from a business aspect? She already is not too happy. Jame is very, I don't know. That relationship does not seem like it's a good relationship. And I just feel like she might be an ally of Mark in this specific scenario, potentially. Who knows? That it's a question that I have that I'm curious if anybody has a theory on. I feel like she might be an ally, though. That's a, pie in the sky. Let's hope, but who knows? All right. Finally, we have Cold Harbor, the episode. It is rated TVMA 15 plus for strong violence and blood. That means somebody's gonna get their cheeks clapped in this episode. Who is gonna fight who? What is gonna happen? The easy person in all of this is Mr. Milchick completely beating Drummond's butt. That is like, yeah, that could happen. I could see that. I could see blood being spilt in that battle if it happens. But at the very beginning of the episode, or this video, I talked about Helly and the wild card she is. And she is alone with this old man that seems like he can barely move. What is Helly going to do? And we see him sitting in a chair in that final trailer. Is he alive? Like, I feel like somebody's got to die in this episode. Like, somebody's probably going to die in this episode, in my opinion. Is Jame going to go away? That's a question. And don't even leave out the possibility of Miss Cobel doing something crazy. She is already crazy. She's already, like, I could see her just going batshit crazy. I don't know. Who knows? And her car, I mean, we know she left it in Salt's Lake, right? That's what it's called. Is her friend gonna come up, and is he gonna get killed by, I don't know, the new Burt, the Hitman Heart? Is that gonna happen? I'm not too sure, but somebody is gonna spill blood in this episode. Or is it gonna be something we see at the very bottom in the, testing floor? I'm not too sure, but that's what I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you first and foremost for watching this. Some people that I really love to watch. I obviously may or may not make another Severance video again, but if I do, you'll see it, obviously. Hopefully enjoy it. Leave a thumbs up if you did enjoy this specific video. But here are some people that I absolutely love that have consistent content up at least once a week, but sometimes even more. These people are great. I assume they're going to continue to talk about Severance even after the season ends for a very long time. I like Think Story. I like New Rock Stars, Film Paradise, Screen Crush, Nauticus Files. The Nauticus Files, that's one of the first channels that I started watching. Love that person's voice. Geekademy, Miscellaneous Gab, Real Enigmas and Theories, incredible vocals on the, yeah, I absolutely love that person as well. And Jeremy Ice and Fire. These people are phenomenal. You should go follow them. I am not the Severance person. I don't foresee me making too many more videos, but if I do, I'll let you guys know. Please let me know in the comments what you think about this episode. If you enjoyed this content, if you want more of this content, I can try to create more of this content. If you click the thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content. I'm gonna leave some videos of some of these special content creators. Maybe some of two of my favorite videos will pop up right here of theirs. Thank you for watching this. If you could do me a favor, tell somebody something nice. It could be the only nice thing they hear all day, all month, all week. Mental health awareness is incredibly important in this community. I love you guys. Until the next one, you guys have a beautiful, fantastic rest of your day. And hey, whether you're an innie or an outie, don't forget to watch the episode tomorrow because it's going to be phenomenal. Bye-bye.